They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Well, this defense for the Chargers, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Here's Lawrence to throw. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first. The Colts at 10-4 on the year. They come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Marlon Mack, his first carry of the game. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
Things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Up the middle, here's Taylor. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Delay of game penalty. Ships him back 5 yards. Makes it 3rd and 10. Lawrence. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 42. That 3rd down conversion good for 23. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
On 1st down, Lawrence. That's complete once again to Hopkins. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Finds his big tight end, Mo Alley Cox. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. Running straight ahead, Taylor. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on third down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on third down. And with the play clock getting closer to 0, John Harbaugh is going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive, but this is third down. Now Lawrence. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. Well, he was just trying to contain DeAndre Hopkins, and he got a little too close.
And because of his ability to line up in different spots on the field and come at you from different angles, different guys have to cover him, and all of them have the same issue. How do you do it without interfering? In this case, it didn't get done.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, first and goal. They'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he takes it in for a Colts score. Tegan Quitoriano with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Colts put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And they finally get to him out near midfield, but he's all the way across the 45 to the 46.
Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
Chargers in good field position to start out. 1st and 10 at their own 46. They started on the ground with Eckler. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Eckler going to get it again on second down. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 7 yards there and a first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Give him 30 yards there.
When teams practice their plays during the week, they're hoping that it's going to pay off on game day. So it sure has to feel good for them when they hit them during a game, and they hit that one there for big yardage.
Running on first down, Eckler. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
It's 2nd and 7 from the 9. Here's Herbert. Flushed out right. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on 2nd down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for a first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the 1st down as he's tackled at the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. First and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. Here's Herbert. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Eckler. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. This Colts D up to the challenge so far, but they need another stop here on 3rd and goal. Eckler again. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chargers are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. So the 2nd down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
Hopkins with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
Second and 10 now. It's Lawrence. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
On third down, Lawrence. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. To punt on fourth down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. DeAndre Carter back deep. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going.
And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
Now a throw out to his fullback is complete. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. Flush to his right. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback because instead of forcing something on 3rd down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a first down.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Herbert. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod.
And the Colts are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line.
That's a beautiful read there by the safety. It's zone coverage, so he's just going to sit back and watch. He knows he can't get beat deep because he has the end line to protect him. So he can react to everything in front of him, and he makes a great break on the football and comes down with the interception.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
From the 27, Lawrence hits his target, the tight end Mo Alley Cox. 7 yards there and a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
From the gun, it's Taylor.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, second down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Lawrence. He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
1st and 10, Taylor now.
And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. With a lot of the media, Charles, ourselves included, starting to prep those MVP ballots, you wonder if last week's performance, which he admitted was not very good, if that hurt him at all coming down the stretch.
Less than 50 yards on the ground in last week's game that you referenced, and let's face it, if he has another game like that, we'll erase him from the MVP discussion. He won't even be talked about anymore. He has to bounce back with 100-plus in this one in order to stay in that race.
And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
That's a tough spot for a running back coming out of the backfield because you know he's got to look for the football, knowing full well he's got a man coming his way, full steam, and he broke that one up.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked by Kenneth Murray. And the Chargers are going to get the football back at their own 17.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
The Charger drive about to get going.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
On 1st and 10, Herbert eluding the pressure right.
And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Herbert caught left side. It's Beckham. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler, and he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
A couple of first downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. It's Eckler again. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. There's Beckham. Great grab. And they'll get this down to the 10. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Back to throw here, Herbert. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only 1st down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on 2nd down.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Now it's Herbert, escaping the pressure right. And this will be caught by his big wide receiver. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. Hopkins' kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. So the Chargers will start the 2nd half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the 3rd quarter. From his end zone, here comes Carter. And he returns this to the 22. The Charger drive about to get going. This offense set to begin the 3rd quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
Desmond Trufant there making the tackle.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Just a yard to go here on second down. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. Herbert off of play action. He completes it to Beckham. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Eckler now between the tackles. Tackle made by Grover Stewart.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Here's Beckham now. It's a jet sweep. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1? That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
Buying time to his left. Touchdown! Gerald Everett, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. On is Hopkins now for the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. On the return from his end zone, Rodgers. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge, an opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a 2-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome? A little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Lawrence will throw. And that's caught left side by Mo Alley-Cox. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's second down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
They give to Taylor out of the gun.
And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Ready?
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence.
A little check down to Lindsey.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
On 2nd down, it's Taylor.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, so far, this game has gone the way the defensive coordinator had hoped. They've dictated things. They've not let them run the ball very well at all. They gave up a nice game there. I doubt it'll back off their confidence. They've played so well throughout this entire game.
On 3rd down, here's Taylor.
And he's got some space here. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. A little costly there. You wipe out the first down. You also move further back.
No doubt about it. So you went from moving the sticks to them staying in the same spot, except for that one guy carrying the yard marker. He moves back farther.
A run up the middle with Mack. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Off the play fake, here's Lawrence.
And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the 4th quarter. The Colts on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Hey, exit.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence.
To the right side, complete to Taylor. And he'll be tackled after a gain of 4. Still 3 yards short. 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Blankenship's kick is good.
And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
The Charger drive about to get going. Their lead back down to one score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs. Likely. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Shaquille Leonard, the linebacker. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Nothing at all on that one. It'll be second down.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
Throwing again on second down. Lawrence. Now that's into the hands of Mo Alley Cox, the tight end. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. And now with a play clock winding down, a whistle and possibly a false start. Now after the false start, they need 8 yards here on third down. From the shotgun, Lawrence. This is caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on first and goal. Taylor, no signal, and now they say he did not get in. He is stonewalled at the 1. Call it no gain, and it's going to be second and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
Another shot from the 1 on second and goal. Here's Taylor again. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor punching it in from a yard away. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying this game here in the fourth. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. From his end zone, here comes Carter. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news,
Plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 58 yards rushing for him now to this point.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Eckler going to get it again on second down. And that's going to be good for a Chargers first down as the tackle made just shy of the 40.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Once more, here's Eckler. Room here to run. And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down inside the 15. A big play there for L.A. 48 yards on the ground.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Up the middle with Eckler. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
It was Kwity Paye who made the stop coming off the edge.
He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. They'll try the air now with Herbert. Over the middle to Beckham. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. Trying to punch it in with Eckler. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game.
And the Chargers answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And they will take a 7-point lead. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this 4th quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. They go play action now. Lawrence
sliding out of the pocket. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play. And he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Now Lawrence to throw.
And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Here's Lawrence. Going deep for Hopkins. Well, he forces one there. It's a potential dagger as it's intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the give, this is Eckler. 123 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but eventually they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. The handoff, it's Eckler. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to perhaps salt this one away. Hopkins' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that one, CD, going to make the road back a lot more difficult.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You know they were praying on the other sideline for a miss, because now, as you pointed out, a very difficult road. Down 2 scores. You don't just need a touchdown. You need a chain of events to go your way. You've got to score, somehow get the ball back, and score again. The odds of that happening, not great in your favor.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Derwin James with a pick, and he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Running on first down, Eckler. He'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
Eckler going to get it again on second down.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call a no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
And for the visitors, it is going to be a happy flight home. It is always such a treat, Charles, in the NFL when you can go on the road and get a victory, and that's exactly what they accomplished here today.
Oh, the trip home so much sweeter, isn't it? All the noise they heard before, how tough it is to win on the road, how tough it is to play in this stadium, how hyped up that crowd's going to be. They just used it as fuel, came in full of confidence, believed in themselves, and got it done.
So, for the Chargers, it's a critical win for them as it gets them to 9-6 on the year. And they'll have another road day next week with the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, it's a bad time of year to take a loss like this as they drop to 10-5. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. And for Charles Davis and our